Donald Trump, who will be president in 2017, says he thinks the White House should have more power over the Federal Reserve. The Fed has been separate from the White House for a long time. That's to keep an elected president from getting involved in politics. Trump, though, says he should have more control over the Fed's money policy. Powell was put in charge by Mr. Trump in 2017. And when he was president, he often disagreed with the chair and was angry that the White House couldn't have more power over the Fed. While running for office, the president-elect talked about firing Powell, or even giving the Fed direct power over the executive branch. He said this when asked if he would step down or if he thought Mr. Trump would fire him. A few aides to the president-elect have told you that you should step down. Would you leave if he told you to? Not at all. Do you think the president can fire or demote you? Does the federal government have the power to say whether it is acceptable for the president to fire or demote any other governors in leadership positions? The law doesn't allow it. The term of Chairman Powell finishes in 2026. At that point, President-elect Trump will be able to choose a new chairman of the Federal Reserve. I'm Trevor Shirley, and I'm reporting from Washington, D.C. After Donald Trump was elected as president-elect, the American Securities Association, ASA, a trade group for the financial industry, called Gary Gensler, the chair of the Securities and Exchange Commission, and asked him to resign right away. The head of the American Society of Association Executives, Aya Kovella, said in a statement made on Wednesday that Chairman Gensler should respect the will of the people who voted last night to change the direction of the country. That result by quitting his job right away. This is the only way for working families, people saving for retirement, and small companies in the United States to rebuild their trust in the Securities and Exchange Commission, Kovella said. Who has said they will fire Gensler if he wins, the American Securities Association Nation, which speaks for big asset managers, said. It has been said that Gensler is too rigid in his views on the cryptocurrency business, which has grown in importance in Washington since the start of Trump's first term. Trump used to say that cryptocurrency was a scam, but now he has changed his mind and openly supported the business during the campaign trial. Also, he has said that he doesn't like how the administration of Biden and Harris, which was run by Gensler, dealt with cryptocritical issues. That being said, Gensler will not be fired by the president-elect because the Securities and Exchange Commission is a separate federal body. This means that commissioners cannot be fired without a good reason. The argument should not be based on politics but on rules and laws. Kwon pointed out that Trump can't force Gensler to step down as a commissioner, but he will be able to choose a new temporary chair of the Securities and Exchange Commission when he takes office in January. The president who is leaving office can also choose a new senatorial commissioner. The Senate was run by Republicans this week, which made it more likely that the nominee would be accepted by the whole body. When it came to what the ASA said, the USC decided not to say anything. An increasing number of politicians, both inside and outside the Bitcoin industry, have called for Gensler to be fired over the past few years. For example, Senator Warren Davidson, who is from Ohio, and I offered a bill last year to reorganize the Securities and Exchange Commission and get rid of Gensler, whom Davidson called tyrannical. Suggested policy would make it harder for one political party to hold on to more than 3 commissioner seats at a time, and it would also take away some of the chair of the Securities and Exchange Commission's freedom of choice. In 2021, Aya Kovella backed Gensler's campaign and called him a person of immense intellectual acumen who is also pragmatic, reasonable, and open to listening to all points of view as he develops policy. What Aya Kovella said today is a big change from what she usually says. The Hill got in touch with Aya Kovella to get more information. When President Biden took office in February, Gensler was put in charge of his responsibilities. As of today, Gary Gensler is stepping down from his job as chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission. The transition team for President Trump is now looking at possible candidates to fill the post. The law says that Trump can't fire Gensler without a good reason until the end of Gensler's term in 2026, even though he promised in July that he would do so on the first day of his second government. Still, the president-elect is very interested in cryptocurrencies when it comes to choosing a new chief. Reuters said that Dan Gallagher is one of the people who some people are thinking about as a possible alternative for Gensler. Right now, he is in charge of legal compliance and business affairs. He has also asked the agency to change how it regulates cryptocurrencies. Gallagher spoke to the U.S. Congress in September at a meeting with a title that confused and amazed people. He broke down the SEC's politicized approach to digital assets. In his prepared comments, Gallagher took a direct shot at Gensler, saying that the Securities and Exchange Commission had made federal regulatory uncertainty that killed new ideas. The Securities and Exchange Commission has been regulating by enforcement, which is bad for American shoppers who want easier access to digital assets. During the hearing, he said that it hurts the progress being made in the blockchain and digital asset businesses and makes the U.S. less competitive in the digital asset market, which was already getting worse. The question that Fortune put to Robinhood about making a comment did not get an answer right away. Reuters reports that Paul Atkins is another possible candidate for head of the Securities and Exchange Commission. Atkins was on Trump's transition team in 2016 and has also been an SEC commissioner in the past. The man in question is the CEO of the consulting company Patel Mac Global Partners at the moment. Atkins has been a co-chair of the Token Alliance since 2017. The Chamber of Digital Commerce organization is said to be leading this work thanks to information on its website. The Chamber wants to see more people accept and use blockchain-based technologies and digital asset apps. During an interview with the cryptocurrency news site CoinDestiny, Atkins said that he agreed with the SEC and Gensler that Bitcoin is not an investment. He did, however, say that he didn't agree with Gensler's plan for regulating Bitcoin. He said that it is important to know how the Securities and Exchange Commission is regulating by law or by threatening to control. Fortra asked Potomac Global Partners for feedback, but they didn't respond right away. It took a while. There have been other stories that have brought up names like Mark Ida, who started his second term as an SEC commissioner in January. Ida has been serving as a commissioner ever since President Biden put out his nomination in the year 2022. Moreover, he has held several positions within the agency, including that of senior advisor to the former chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Jay Clayton, and counsel to Atkins. During his tenure as a commissioner in early 2000, the information that has been provided is not intended to be trading advice. There is no responsibility for any investments that are made based on the information that is provided on this page. Before making any decision about investments, we strongly advise conducting independent research and consulting with a knowledgeable professional.